Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Nerd With Me. My name is Andrew Christopher, and I am the newest addition to the Nerd With Me crew, helping to bring even more movie reviews and our most popular flicks talk. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the legendary 1933 film King Kong. Now, this particular film holds a special place in many filmmakers' hearts, and I am absolutely of no exception. I remember seeing this film when I was just 2 years old. Yes, you heard that right, just 2 years old. And how do I remember that, you ask? Well, I'll give you a little story. So, I was 2, my mother decided to plop me down in front of the big 27-inch wooden TV. Some of you may have remembered those things. They actually existed. And I sat there, and I did not know what to expect, obviously. And when I saw it, I was blown away by the mixed emotions that it gave me. And when I say mixed emotions, I mean good mixed emotions. It made me laugh, it made me afraid, and it made me cry. Now, generally films do just one of those things because that's what they focus on. King Kong actually managed to do all of that and more. When you say this film has had a wide range impact on not just an audience, but to a whole host of well-known and high-profile filmmakers is really an understatement. You've had people from Steven Spielberg to George Lucas to even, in my view, I think one of the best filmmakers, even he wasn't even trying to be, Ray Harryhausen. And Mr. Harryhausen said it best. He went to the Grauman's Chinese Theater in 1933 to see King Kong, and when he came out of it, he was not the same since. And I can honestly say that I'm going to steal that because I have not been the same since, on my end, ever since I saw it when I was just 2 years old. Now, it's hard to really pinpoint why something like this captures the imagination of so many people. Then again, you could almost say the same thing about Star Wars. Why does that capture the imagination of the public versus some other film? And I think it really boils down to the execution of the film. Just like Star Wars, if King Kong was made really, really crappy, with inferior effects, with atrocious acting, bland locations, you would honestly forget about it. It would be just another film that you saw that was a waste of your time. But people don't think of King Kong as a waste of time. I certainly don't think of it as a waste of time. I think of it as the pinnacle, the absolute pinnacle of filmmaking excellence. Now, one of the reasons why it holds such a special place in many people's hearts is the fact that you actually care about the title character, King Kong. You believed the moment you saw him, you believed that he was actually King Kong. You believed that the creature you're seeing just in front of your eyes is an actual 50-foot tall ape. Now, I know that's not anything to, gawk about, because if you've seen one giant creature, you've probably seen them all, especially with today's technology. But remember, this is 1933. This is during the Great Depression. This is 10 years before we even thought that we would get into another world war. This is a time when people really believed in what they were seeing on the screen, because obviously a lot of the stuff they saw was for real. Or if it wasn't real, it was done in camera, which made it appear to be real. And King Kong is absolutely no exception. Is of absolutely no exception. But here's the thing. How could they possibly have made people believe in a small little puppet that was just moving around frame by frame. Well, it took a lot of different factors to do that. First, it took the skillful animation of Willis O'Brien, who made you believe that Kong was real, that he had a personality, that he had character traits. I mean, he would do things that were so real. It's really hard to describe, but there were just things he would do that would be so real that you were just like, that creature actually has a personality. It's real. You know, one of the best examples is during the iconic fight with the T-Rex. As soon as he defeats the creature, he's checking the jaw. I mean, flapping the jaw up and down and checking it out, seeing if it's like still alive or not. Hardly anybody saw anything like that. Audiences never saw something as wild and imaginative as that. And with the combination of the animation plus the iconic sound design for Kong, with his roar that just captures your attention so quickly, you're like, oh my god, what was that? And you're just left with, oh my god. And what you had was a truly memorable film where when you first saw Kong, you were terrified, like Andero. Then as time progressed, you felt sympathy for him because you saw he was not trying to kill her. He actually cared about her. And then by the time he was taken back to New York, he escapes, climbs the Empire State Building. The biplanes circle around him, shooting at him. He weakens and ultimately falls off. You are absolutely bawling your eyes out because you actually cared. You gave a crap about this puppet. You saw that he was not malicious. He was not a monster to just be a monster. He was a creature that was clearly taken out of his element by man, and he was then punished for that. And so by the end, when Carl Denham says the further classic line, "It was beauty that killed the beast," well, you could say it was, because he wanted to protect her no matter what. And to his dying breath, he did. Now, people tend to get the same way when, referring back to Star Wars, people tend to feel the same way when Obi-Wan was slain by Darth Vader in the first film. And it's the same mentality because you got to spend time with the character, you quickly understood where he stood, what his characteristics were, what he stood for, what he was trying to do, and what he ultimately did do. He got slain by Vader, so then Luke and the rest of his comrades could escape. So the same kind of thing, when you actually have characters that an audience cares about and have invested their time in, they feel the way you would want them to feel when they meet their untimely demise. And on that note, I give King Kong 1933 a resounding
I'll be back.
Come on, seriously, what else did you think I was going to rate it as? So, in summary, King Kong is not a classic just because everyone says it is. It's a classic because of the elements that were put into it. The love and appreciation for telling a very classic tale for a modern audience. And it still resonates today. We've seen so many different versions of Kong. King Kong vs. Godzilla, King Kong Escapes, the 76 version of King Kong Lives, then Peter Jackson's King Kong, and then of course the new Kong Skull Island. The character shows no signs of slowing down. And you know, as being a fan, I am very, very happy for that. But if I were given a choice out of all of the different versions to watch, if I were stuck on a remote island, didn't have to be Skull Island, but just on an island, I would always go back to the original 1933 King Kong. Because again, that's where it all started for not just me, but for an entire vast generation of filmmakers. And I'm happy to see that it keeps on enduring into the 21st century.
And that'll be it for now, YouTubers and cinephiles. If you like the content and you want to comment, like, share amongst your friends, but do me a favor and look below the video and click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get more amazing content like you just witnessed today. Y'all take care, YouTubers and cinephiles.